Coming up tonight in Our News, the Education Minister reveals the next steps for a transferred ACP. Plus, no trustees appointed yet to manage donated hurricane money. And the Bahamas government recruits Cuban teachers. And later, the Prime Minister talks tough on illegal immigration.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Higgs, topping news tonight. 1 week after Assistant Commissioner of Police Lehman Delaveau was informed that he would be deployed to the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology upon his return from forced vacation leave, Education Minister Jeff Lloyd said today he will meet with Delaveau on Tuesday. In a letter signed by Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson, Delaveau was instructed to report to Lloyd for at least 1 year. The Education Minister told Our News the purpose of the meeting is to find out the terms of Delaveau's engagement. However, he says he understands the ACP will serve as a consultant.
It is my understanding that the officer is to report to this ministry as a consultant, which means that he would provide advice as to the security requirements of the ministry, bearing in mind that the ministry has 172 schools across the archipelago, in addition 70 or so buildings.
Delaveau told Our News he is willing to meet with Lloyd, whom he says has been very decent and respectful to him over the phone. He said once that meeting is held, he will decide the way forward. As previously reported, the Assistant Commissioner has retained the legal services of attorney Wayne Monroe, QC, who is also representing 2 other assistant commissioners who were reassigned to other government entities after returning from forced vacation leave. Though Delaveau is expected to offer advice on security requirements of the ministry, Lloyd made it clear that day-to-day operations will remain in the hands of Christopher Smith.
It's a wide spectrum of responsibility from a security standpoint. We obviously welcome their help, especially with the experience that the officer provides. But I am advised that the day-to-day operation of the security operations in the Ministry of Education remains with Mr. Christopher Smith, who will be supplemented and supported now by the officer in question, Officer Delaveau. And again, we look forward to the engagement, the conversation, and we will finalize the terms of that engagement.
Monroe suggested recently that Delaveau should go and see what the calamity is at the Ministry of Education that would require the presence of an assistant commissioner. However, Lloyd insisted today that all public schools are safe for students, faculty, and staff.
Our challenge is not those persons who come to school or who are participant in the school's operations. It's persons who come from outside. And they usually come with some intentions of, settling scores or something of this nature. This is why, and I'm happy that the police has made it their business to provide patrols and other oversight mechanisms for many of our school campuses, especially those in areas that we consider to be vulnerable.
Disaster Reconstruction Authority Chairman John Michael Clark has confirmed that an account has already been set up to hold money raised at last month's United Nations Development Program Pledge Conference. However, he says government still has not appointed trustees to manage the money. Jasmine Brown reports.
The Disaster Reconstruction Authority chairman made the statements during a Rotary Club of West Nassau meeting.
Out of the recent pledge conference with UNDP, there's an account that has been established. The full trust and the trustees have not been appointed.
The government received $1.5 billion in pledges for Hurricane Dorian relief during a special pledging conference in January. They include a $975 million loan offer from the P3 Group, Inc., a U.S.-based company. The money would be repaid with interest if accepted. The government will have some say in how the funds are used, as the UNDP will manage the funds in collaboration with the government. Clark was unable to say how much money was in the account. When pressed, he gave this response.
An account has been set up. I can't tell you exactly how much is in that right now.
But he did say they are working with the UNDP to set up a proper framework to manage the money.
We are doing an outline for our corporate governance. And we are beginning to discuss how and who should be appointed trustees. There's a certain framework, because that trust fund that we've established with UNDP is a joint trust fund. They have some guidelines on how that fund should be administered. So we are working with them to finalize the administrative framework for that fund.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks, Jasmine. 60 specialized teachers from the Republic of Cuba are being recruited by the Ministry of Education to fill vacant teaching positions in the country. The Bahamas and Cuban governments signed a memorandum of understanding today. Giorgio Bain reports.
The Ministry of Education and the Cuban government signed an extension to a memorandum of understanding that would allow an additional 60 teachers to enter the educational system by August in subjects that are currently experiencing a teacher deficiency.
I want to say thanks to Your Excellency for facilitating this memorandum of understanding, which has received the approval of our own government through the Attorney General's office, as well as the government of Cuba through its Ministry of Education.
We are really pleased with the idea that the Cuban teachers can help the Bahamian student and can help the Bahamian people in general to develop and to increase the skills and the tools for the near future.
The MOU was originally signed in 2003. Education Director Marcellus Taylor admitted that the ministry has faced challenges with recruiting and retaining teachers.
This year's exercise, recruitment of Cuban teachers, we expect to engage about 60 teachers. As in the past, we are looking for assistance in areas of agricultural science, auto mechanics, in the sciences, biology, chemistry, and electrical installation, and other such disciplines such as mathematics, Spanish, and French.
A team will travel to Cuba between March 14th and 21st to engage prospective teachers and select up to 60 that will fit the necessary requirements. With several subjects, including mathematics and English language, also suffering from a lack of teachers, Taylor said an assessment must be done to see where teachers are most needed.
We know how many of each type of teacher we require. We don't know today where the Cuban teachers will be posted. But what we do know is that we have an exercise of redeployment that goes on every year. Teachers have to submit requests. So once those requests are dealt with, and then we see where the vacancies are, then we'll be able to slot the Cuban teachers in those areas.
Taylor said he is thankful that Cuban teachers are willing to accept positions on the Family Islands, unlike most Bahamian teachers.
I can't say that it's always the case with Bahamians, because we have a situation where even new graduates who are not married and don't have any children, when they come out of college and we say to them that we have a spot for you, but the spot is in a rural area, sometimes they don't even take up the appointment anymore. They say no, they're gonna just go somewhere else.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thank you, Giorgio. Well, during his trip to Barbados this week, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis got a first-hand look at a sustainable housing community that could be used as a model for the government's housing development in Abaco, which was ravaged by Hurricane Dorian last year. Jerome Sawyer reports.
These are designed first and foremost for earthquakes, so 5 on the Richter scale, constant. The codes that we're designing into our high seismic code.
Far from the security-tight meetings of CARICOM, on a 100-acre housing development in Barbados known as Villages at Coverley, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis may have found an answer to the massive home rebuilding needed from Hurricane Dorian.
But after the first 12 weeks, every month you have 30 homes finished. You're handing over 30 homes. So this home would be manufactured today, and tomorrow this home would be installed and finished on the site.
Chairman and owner Mark Maloney gave the Prime Minister a glimpse into what could be a promise of Category 5 resistant homes built in a local factory and ready in a month.
From a design perspective, you could not have a system that is more durable to withstand wind and earthquake because of the design. We designed for high wind and for seismic, so the homes are designed, they're modeled, so in real time you can see how the home performs in a hurricane or in an earthquake, and the homes can be built on columns as well, or stilts as you probably better refer to it. So the homes can be built 5, 10, 15, 20 feet above the ground. These homes here, if all of the material was to be taken from underneath these homes, you'll see that they're on columns. So the material can go from underneath the homes and it won't affect the homes because they're designed to be simply supported on columns and to stand alone.
Maloney claims the concrete foam insulated roof makes it one of the best wind-resistant designs so far. With projects in at least 7 other Caribbean countries and knowing firsthand the topography and terrain of the Bahamas, Maloney's development caught the eye of the Prime Minister for more than one reason.
This site is the one of the most advanced development in terms of building resilience. They took both hurricane and earthquake into consideration. They take solar systems, energy efficiency, the design, and I was more concerned with not only building resilience, but I have to build homes that's affordable to Bahamians, regardless of their economic background or their financial status.
Taking in the tour was also Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield, whose constituency of North Abaco was at the epicenter of the hurricane damage.
A community of resilient homes that we think will transform, will change the paradigm of such communities in the Bahamas. The government, I think the Prime Minister has indicated that we have identified land in Spring City. I have to remind them that there's also land in Murphytown.
Given the environmentally sound building practices and the potential price point, this housing development here in Barbados may be the answer to the housing void left by Hurricane Dorian. The big question, though, is how soon and how much? Well, the Prime Minister seems keen on the project. From here, I guess we'll just watch, wait and see. From Bridgetown, Barbados, I'm Jerome Sawyer reporting for Our News.
Thanks, Jerome. Still to come on Our News. The Prime Minister says he won't tolerate illegal migrants. Plus, an outspoken F&M MP says he won't be pushed out of the party. Stay tuned.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone. An enhanced television experience and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together.
Welcome back. The Bahamas government will sign a memorandum of understanding with the Turks and Caicos Islands as part of a joint effort to curb illegal migration to both countries. The Prime Minister made it clear he will not tolerate illegal migrants.
It is essential that we take charge and grab hold of the challenges we face with respect to illegal.
Speaking to reporters at LPIA after a trip to Barbados, Minna says the issue of Haiti was on the agenda at those CARICOM meetings. However, Minna says he and other leaders from countries that have large populations of Haitian migrants pointed out to the other leaders in attendance the challenges faced by countries in the extreme north of the Caribbean. He says the issue has caused our neighbors to have to resort to vigilante measures.
Turk's Prime Minister had pointed out that things are getting so bad and restless in Turks Island that the residents are now taking it upon themselves to capture illegal residents, apprehend them themselves, and retain them for the police and other officers.
A CARICOM task force was supposed to travel to Haiti last year. However, instability in that country made that trip impossible. Minna says he took the opportunity at the CARICOM meeting to remind Caribbean leaders that the Bahamas is struggling to cope with illegal migration.
We've made it clear that we have a problem with illegal migration, and the Bahamas will no longer tolerate it. We cannot afford it. We're a population of 400,000. Haiti is a population of 12 million.
Haiti is a country rife with problems. It is currently heading into its second year with a caretaker government in charge. The political instability is expected to cause the country's economy to plunge even further. Nearly 5 million Haitians are said to need humanitarian aid. Many of them will likely attempt to travel north to the United States and the Bahamas. Minna says those Haitians are welcome in the Bahamas if they arrive here legally.
We welcome individuals to our shores, and they are entitled to everything once entering the proper way through our borders, be it airports or seaports, they would be respected and entitled to every amenity Bahamian citizens are entitled to. But we will not tolerate illegals.
Following a scathing attack on the minister administration during his contribution to the mid-year budget debate on Monday, Pine Ridge Member of Parliament Frederick McAlpine says he is well aware his frequent criticisms have put a target on his back. However, the defiant F&M MP says there is no way he'll be pushed out of the party. Jasmine Brown reports.
Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine has made it no secret that he will criticize the actions of his own party, and he says while many F&Ms are not pleased, he doesn't plan on leaving the party anytime soon.
I'm going to leave when I want to leave. I'm not going to be pushed out. I'm not going to be prophesied out. I'm not going to be prayed out. I'm going to move when I'm led to move, not before.
In the House of Assembly on Monday evening, McAlpine called the Minnis administration a Pinocchio government. McAlpine pointed to a number of contentious issues, including the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Hotel, the decision to move the General Post Office into a building owned in part by former Cabinet Minister Brent Simonet, and a deal with Oban Energies that was fraught with controversy. Asked whether he has gotten pushback from his latest attack on the government, McAlpine said this.
They said, I remember one of the ministers getting up and saying the first banana to leave the bunch will be skinned. Well, he was talking to me, but I'm still there. He've lost 2 members since, and don't be surprised if he loses some other members. And I'm not talking about me either.
Asked why he chooses to stay in the party considering he is not pleased by its performance, McAlpine says for now he feels he can do more as a member of the F&M.
I choose to stay at this time because I'm not going to let anybody push me out. If I want to go, I'm going to go on my own remission and on my own cognizance. Not that you're going to tell me to leave and I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave when I want to leave.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks again, Jasmine. When Our News comes back from the break, government receives 1,400 applications for small home repairs. Stay tuned.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone, an enhanced television experience, and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together.
The Disaster Reconstruction Authority's Small Home Repair Program has received more than 1,400 applications from Grand Bahama and Abaco residents whose homes were destroyed or damaged during Hurricane Dorian last September. That's according to the authority's chairman, John Michael Clark, who spoke at the Rotary Club of West Nassau meeting.
As of Tuesday this week, I am told more than 1,400 persons have signed up online for small home repairs, and I see that in Grand Bahama some vouchers have already gone out.
The program was rolled out on Grand Bahama last week and an office was opened. From the top, what are we doing? All right. Clark said the program was rolled out on Grand Bahama last week and an office was opened in Abaco on Monday. He added that a new Providence office will also be opening on Monday for the benefit of storm survivors who moved after the storm but still have damaged homes on the affected islands.
I want to stress this point, though, now that we have the press, I want to stress this point. Let persons know that once they get approval, once the authority sends them back an online approval, it is very important that they get the quotes so that vouchers can be and POs can be generated for them to get the materials and necessary labor to execute the home repairs.
Under the Small Home Repair Program, residents whose homes were destroyed will be eligible to receive $10,000 in vouchers. Those with major damage will receive $7,500, while medium damage will be eligible for $5,000 in vouchers. Minimal damage will be eligible for $2,500 in vouchers. The program also stipulates that only homes that were uninsured will be eligible and that only Bahamian homeowners who can provide proof of residence on August 31st, 2019 can qualify for the program. Last night, while reporting on the Head Knowles lawsuit filed against one of its co-founders, we incorrectly showed footage of the Jackie Robinson Foundation's relief effort from a story that aired in October 2019. We wanted to clarify tonight that those two groups are in no way affiliated, and we apologize for that error.